on Facebook. Okay, I think. Hey, Janie, how are you?
Hi, Catherine.
It looks so nice. It looks so nice and sunny over there. It's freezing here.
I'm sitting at the parking lot of the Ponte Vedra Inn and Club, which is our oldest and most shishi, basically oceanfront clubs, resorts, golf clubs, everything like that. And I have an actual appointment with somebody for agent attraction right after that. So I'm sitting in the car to have our meeting.
Nice. Excuse that. I was just looking at different things. I'm like, we should make this interesting. Anyway, start talking through the frames.
The point being at the Ponte Vedra Inn and Club falls right in line with what you wanted to talk about today, was having relationships with people who come in contact with people who you want to do business with. So I'm here, there's a golf pro, there's the salon, there's the tennis pro. Those are all people that fall right in line with your idea about working with affiliated business people.
It's so important because we cannot do it all ourselves. We cannot reach all of these people. And even if we did, the potential client won't have the goodwill toward us. It will take time to build that goodwill, where they already have that goodwill with their clients. And so it's really important to be that go-to person for this sphere. And if you just moved into town, as I did 3 times, and have to find all new clients, this is probably the most important segment of our luxury collective class.
Yeah.
So Janie and I, we really work so hard to establish this friendship with and mutual respect with all of these people that, you know, we're going to talk to you about. So a lot of the things you may not know, a lot of the things you will know, but I'm going to just come up with a couple of things. But let's talk about, before we talk about who, let's talk about what and why. Again, you already heard the why. You're going to be able to go right in with their, the goodwill. So you're going to be borrowing their goodwill that they've already set up, which is wonderful. And then the what is, you can't just go up to these people and say, hey, I'm Catherine Bassick, and I would like you to refer your clients over to me. They've spent years and decades nurturing these clients, and they're not going to be referring them to just anybody. So you have to give them a reason to recommend you as the person. So one of my friends, his husband was the concierge, the head of the concierge at a very high-end hotel in New York. I'm not going to mention the name. And so he wound up getting a $15 million listing because, I'm sorry, a buyer, and sold it because he was able to, because the person came to the front desk, to the concierge, and they often do in communities that have a lot of travelers through it. And I'm sure you have it, Janie. New York has it, Boston has it, LA for sure. I made a lot of my business making sure I knew all the concierge and making that relationship strong. And so what's in it for them? And you have to think about that. What do you have to offer? And you really have to think about that hard, because you're watching this, but guess what? A lot of other people are watching this too, and they're going to do the exact same thing. So you have to think, what is your value proposition when you are going after like the concierge and a hotel? One group that I have found to be very, very good at recommending potential clients are the home automation folks. Now, you think, why would that be? those people kind of want the latest and greatest all the time. And so and so they have relationships with these people. So it'll be, getting the latest technology for the home and the theater and all of that. And sometimes, you'll find that they get tired of that, and they will call those people, and they just stay friends. And so it's a really good source of potential buyers and sellers. So check out who are the people that you may know in your town, and see if you can establish a friendship with them. They're probably about the most friendliest, most generous people that you're going to come across. And again, at first, you may be referring more business to them than they refer to you, but believe me, the tables do turn. And I have somebody that's like in San Francisco that referred a $35 million seller to me, and then another $15 million seller. So they definitely know what's going on, and not just in that area, but everywhere. So do your homework and figure out who those people are. They're mostly called like system and design. So check it out and make friends with them. And Janie, I don't know if you have anything to add to that one.
No, that's,
Do you want to go with the next
and
one?
yeah, the thing is, if anybody refers you a client, a buyer or a seller, they've done their job, and it's not even their job to refer you. But don't base how you respond to them if you actually get the buyer or the seller, because that's on you. Meaning, if somebody refers you a listing opportunity, and those people are still interviewing with 3 different people and you don't get it, still really love on those people who sent you the referral. Tell them how much you appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Whatever it is, and then make sure that you don't embarrass them by not getting back in time, by not being prepared if you're doing some kind of presentation.
Crucial.
Make them proud that they sent you the referral, and let them know how appreciated they are. And again, it doesn't matter if you end up getting the business or not. What they did, they already did, which was suggesting you to that person. So never take that lightly. Never take that as just something. They were really putting themselves on the line by referring you. So make them proud and glad that they did refer you, and then keep them updated on how things are going. So that they know how much you appreciate it. And it's not just you sent a referral or they sent a referral and then that's it. Like, keep them updated and say, hey, just wanted to let you know I met with so-and-so, or we're going through approvals, or we're getting their house ready, so that they know, because they really went out of their way. They don't have to do that. And a lot of people don't do that. Most people don't. So just be a really good referral taker. And then be thinking of ways that you can reciprocate it, especially if they're a tennis pro or a golf pro or a financial advisor. Can you send them business? And can you refer them? And just build great relationships with these people.
Yes. And Janie, what you said, which is keep them abreast of everything that's going on. It's really important that you let the person know what's going on. Now, that may never get back to the buyer or seller, but at least they feel like that they're part of it. And that's so crucial. So do that. And they're going to really feel like they're part of your team, even though they make nothing out of it or whatever. They get excited because everybody wants to be the person who's like the winner, the hero that comes out. And wow, you've just made this person a hero to yourself and to the potential client. And believe me, they're talking all the time. So they're going to know how you're doing, how you're communicating. So make sure that you express the best manners. People don't understand how important manners are. And again, dress well. It does make a difference. You're going to feel better about yourself, and you're going to present yourself better to the person who is referring you. However you may dress elsewhere, when there's a professional like a golfer, a golf pro, or a tennis pro, or somebody who's a facial esthetician, or your hair person, show that you're like at that level and show you have great manners and that you respect yourself, look good, show that you care about your health, your diet, everything. So I cannot say that enough, because you're representing both of you now, not just you, it's both of you. So make sure that however they present themselves is the way that you're going to present yourself too. And that. So next one, we discussed this on one of the other things, but your mail person in the area that you're farming, probably a good idea to just get to know that person. And not just when you're looking for a deal, but just on maybe being kind to that person, which you should be anyway. But maybe if you see their truck or whatever going by and you're walking by, stop by. Hi, how are you? How's everything going? I don't think anybody talks to them, so this is perfect. So do that. We've already talked about the high-end spa and the high-end hair salon. We've talked about the concierge at the luxury hotel. And now we're going to talk about, we touched on wealth advisors, but this is a big one. And this is one where you really might need to reciprocate first. So find out who the top person is in your area. Top 3, they're all ranked just like we are. Find out who they are. Send them a nice, letter, and then ask if you can meet with them. I don't think you should just send them an email and say, hey, I'd like to meet with you, because honestly, who the heck are you? So give them something worthwhile. If you know who their client is, that's even better, because if you even know who their client might be looking for something, that's top, because now you are offering them something that they really do need. I had an opportunity to present to a wealth advisor that I had never met, a really high-end property in Los Angeles. He loved that. This was what's his name? Sergey Brin's wealth advisor. Yeah, it was big. I never met him. It was a total, hey, how are you? I just want to introduce myself. So find out who these guys, their wealth advisors are, the gals, and find out who their, maybe managers are. Managers are another really great source. And of course, everybody's going after athletes, and it's fine. And I have too, but just make sure that you have something different to offer than every other Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yeah. Let's talk about athletes for a minute. Normally, you're not having the direct relationship with the athlete themselves. You're having a relationship with their manager, and they often have their sports manager and then their advisor. They have a whole host of people around them. So you're normally more often building the relationship with that person who works with a host of athletes, whether they're football players or golfers or basketball players or whatever it is. So you're making the relationship, because a lot of times you don't even deal with the talent. You're dealing with that person in between whose job is to protect that person, both financially and all the other things. I think there is a sports and entertainment loose kind of group within EXP. So if that's something you're interested in honing, get in there. And then along with that, we also have the family office. And so for the very wealthy people, they actually have a family office for their family, where they might have a financial advisor on their staff, an accountant, a CPA, a gifting person, an attorney, and they work within that family office. That family office is basically the company of professionals that manages the assets of wealthy families. Because a lot of times when there's wealthy families, there's several siblings, adult siblings, there's the parents, there's a lot of money and assets. So that's something that you can work your way up to, but you're normally developing, like Catherine was saying, the relationship with the wealth managers, the financial planners, the insurance people. I would get in with a couple 1031 exchange professionals in your area, because a lot of times, even if the people are not buying and selling their primary residence, a lot of times they have investments in real estate, commercial investments, apartment buildings, office buildings, things like that. And they're doing all kinds of 1031 exchanges all the time. So reach out and start to build some relationships with 1031. They want to build relationships with real estate agents because they need to have somebody divert clients to them, because they're intermediaries for the 1031 exchange. So that's a very reciprocal type profession that you could end up doing a good amount of business with and through. You can even host 1031 kind of knowledge webinars in person in your area. Invite agents outside of EXP. It's a great agent attraction thing. Same thing for financial planners, insurance people. All those people, they want to get in front of real estate agents just as much as you want to get in front of them.
And also art dealers. That's another one right in there. And auction houses. And so you can actually do a webinar about collecting fine art, modern art, contemporary art, jewelry, all kinds of different art. Do the webinar, partner with a art auction house or a good dealer that you know. Believe me, there are a lot more out there than just Sotheby's and Christie's. And a lot of them, believe it or not, are much more successful than Sotheby's and Christie's. For example, Bonhams is a great one to partner with. And again, this goes into, again, who you need to know, get to know these people, because they'll have the access to the cars, which again, these cars are selling for 20 million. I'm very, very good friends with the person at Bonhams that handles the Northeastern United States. And as a result, I've gotten invited to amazing events. And she and I have had webinars together where we have invited wealth advisors and we have talked about alternative asset classes. And there's nothing magical, people. You can do this stuff. You just need to have content, and you need to do your homework of why anybody should come to you. What are you going to bring to the table? And yes, they're going to come in and they're going to talk about their content, but what are you going to do? And perhaps you can talk about, on this one, I talked about timberland. You can talk about luxury market around the world or in the US or wherever that market that you want to do. So the webinars are a great way to really build synergy with your potential referral people. Like for the concierge at a hotel, that one, you really can't do a webinar, but what you could do is do a little interview with them, like a man on the street interview, and then go do something like that. I have not done that, but that's another one. Get to know your luxury yacht dealers. Subscribe to their emails, at least know what the heck is going on, and get talking with them. And you're never going to know when you might find somebody who's looking for a yacht. And then if you refer them, they can refer people back to you. And believe me, those guys are a huge source of information and they have nothing to do but talk. So they will tell you who's out there looking for a yacht right now. And these yachts, they go up to like $300 million. Like people think that 300 million for a house is a lot, but these are $300 million yachts. They're going to go out of favor on you.
The yacht dealers and the luxury car dealers are great people to do joint open houses with. Yes. Because if you put joint invite only brokers open, or not so much public open, more brokers open, at least in my area. And the yacht dealers will bring in, if you have a waterfront house with a nice dock or boathouse, they'll bring in a few of their high-end yachts. The car dealers will bring in and park in the driveway a couple of their high-end cars. And then they're inviting their clientele to that open house. the car people are inviting theirs. So it's a complete win-win. I would invite a few of the high-end social media influencers because you're giving them content to share on their Instagram. I had a beautiful, large historic property, and excuse me, we did an Instagram influencer event where we invited a bunch over. We put a map and we put pins on the map of very photo worthy locations on the property and created a hashtag so that they went out and took pictures, tagged it. But doing this with your yacht dealers, your car dealers. Ooh, EXP stock up 10%. Woo woo!
Yay!
And Lord, I'm on the phone. So anyway, just be creative and build these relationships. It is so worth it. But what I wanted to say, the yacht dealers are especially because if somebody has a yacht or a boat that's, let's say, 65 feet, and you have a listing that, or a pocket listing or whatever that may be dock space that will accommodate a 70-foot vessel, going around and telling all the yacht dealers that you have that, because a lot of times the bigger the boat, and Catherine knows this, the bigger the boat, the harder it is to find a property with a dock to fit the boat. So you can work synergistically with the yacht dealers. They might need that parcel to be able to sell that 70-foot yacht, right? And vice versa. So there's just so much you can do with these affiliated businesses.
Yeah, I love that yacht thing. I wish we had more of that around here, but that's like, I guess when I go to Nantucket, we can do that. Or Martha's Vineyard. Okay, so along with Janie, what she had just said, but also include art dealers, and forget art dealers, art consultants. Develop the relationship with the art consultants and art dealers too, because let's say you have an amazing house that's got a lot, very expensive luxury home. You work with them and they can put those masterpieces in the home for free. And then you could do a viewing event and you will have amazing people coming in and taking a look. Ideally, you want to do this before, couple months before an auction. They like to do these teaser events so that they can show, let's say that they're going to have an auction in Hong Kong or in London. Well, there's going to be some buyers from Boston. So we would have a beautiful event here in Boston at my listing. And then they would invite all the people who would be interested in these pieces within Boston. These are people I could never get to before, but now they're going to be at this beautiful home. They're going to get to see this exquisite art. And while I'm at it, what do you need when you have great yachts and all of that? You need great bodyguards and security. Another synergy company. Get to know who the really high-end bodyguard company is, or security guard. I'm talking about super high-end, and then get to know them and then see how you might be able to funnel business to each other. And so that's what was. And I had one more big one on that one too. Oh, house management recruiters, right, Janie? These people who hire like the master chef and this and that. Yep. Follow them on LinkedIn. Follow them, because this is where, like, to get into the family office, I'm going to just be very honest with you. It is not going to be easy. Janie and I have the relationships because we've been around forever and we have built a trust throughout the years. And by the way, we're not going to let that go. So where you want to start is perhaps where these very high-end house management staffing companies. So they're looking for someone who can cook, and they'll say something like, we would like a chef who can pick great produce, and we need them to follow with us in our different homes, and they must be able to work on a yacht and this and that. So that's probably a client you want. So reach out to that person and let them know about who you are in your town, because when that person is looking for something, remember, they're a recruiter. So one time they're going to need a recruiter for a real estate agent. Be that person, be ready to go, because why else would they even have that list? So make sure that you're in there.
Yeah, I was going to say the other thing you can do is keep a running list of like the best landscaper, the best pool maintenance, the best handyman, the best electrician, all those things. Put it on a nice PDF with your logo, your contact information, your website, and let those people know that you put them on your list, give them some of your cards, things like that. And then because it happens all the time, people are wanting to know, oh, I need a landscaper. And then just send them the whole list. So you're showing you're the resource for them. And then keep your eyes peeled in Facebook all the time in your local groups or next door or whatever your higher end areas use or your area. People always say, I need an electrician, I need a plumber, I need a mover, I need a handyman, I need a pool person. Share that little PDF, share it as a JPEG within Facebook. So people see your name, your logo all the time, being a person of service, providing really great referrals. And like I said, let the referral subcontractors know that you've made it to their preferred list so that they know to do the same for you. There's just so much business to be done with affiliated businesses. And this is just a snippet. I think Catherine will probably share in the remarks her list because I think we've touched on a quarter of the ideas of people that you can develop relationships with. And hairdressers, because people are sitting in the chair all the time talking about what's going on.
Yeah, you have their undivided attention. So back to this list, Janie, that is such a fantastic idea. And I'm going to do it because I don't do that yet. So thank you for that. Now, when you create your list and you have the people who you think are the best in what we just said, or whatever you want to include in your list, you know whether you need to include a yacht dealer or not. But Facebook, we have a community page and people ask all the time, and then you constantly have to go look to see who recommended who. So having all those people is just a total win. Now, contact them and let them know that you're going to put this list together, and also that you're going to put them on your website. Ask them to please put you on their website and give you a backlink back to your website. It includes your organic growth within Google. So if somebody's looking for Weston real estate agents, because I have 10 amazing people that are trusted websites, they're all linking back to me. It puts me much higher and without having a paid ad. So, and as we all know, paid ads, people are kind of ignoring them now, unless it's a last resort. But so that's what you want to do. The link backs are very, very important. So there's another way you can continue your collaboration. Oh, one other thing, equestrian facilities and trainers. If you have horses or you're into horses, even if you're not, find out the equestrian facilities, because there is a group of people. They love to travel, they love to buy properties, and they love to move. And they have many properties usually and many horses. So figure out where they are, develop the relationship, find out who the top trainers are, and establish a relationship with them. Again, they have to trust you. They're never, ever going to recommend their clients to somebody who they just don't trust completely. So you have to show, this, what's in it for me, what's in it for them has to be that you are the absolute best person out there for their clients, because they can't have their clients just go with someone who's going to mess up their business, because if you don't do your job, it could potentially affect them and the barn and all of that. So, and again, if you go into the equestrian facilities and all of that, your market now just has expanded, not just from wherever you are, but you're going to reach out to people like in Saudi Arabia, Dubai. These are all really big horse buyers. So when they're looking to buy a farm in your area, they're going to come looking for you.
So
sorry,
I have to run because I have my appointment at 1:30. I'm sitting in the parking lot. But this is a really great meeting, and hopefully people will just pick one or two or three of those types of people. It's not like you're going to do all those categories of people. What's relevant to you, where you are, who you have relationships with, who you can help. and really be mindful of developing those relationships.
And I'm going to go ahead and put that list, paste it on the comments. Another great reason to be here live. So,
Yep. All right. Bye, Catherine.
bye. Good luck, Janie. Let me know what happens. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye.